Alright, sweet. I'm live. Alright. So, today I'm going to be going over how to trade news with the new bots. Let's see, I'm going to switch something up real quick. And my computer is not going to cooperate with me. Alright, sweet. Why would I expect anything different? Fucking potato. Alright. Right, so today my computer, which is a very real chance it will not. Looks like it is. I'll trade the news. An example on CPI in July. July because on normal mode with this new developing. So you can get July and you're gonna be happy, alright? Or actually it's August. August you're gonna be happy. Okay, so let's just settings and shit. Okay, so first thing I know is that this setup is uh, you can't like what's it called? FOMC minutes. You can trade that with strategy, but you will have to adjust start and end time. Start and end time 2 don't matter. Those are for the main strategy. In Econ 1, Econ 2, I never use anyway. So profit target, stop loss. For profit target, I would honestly go 3,000. And for this is where the take weight for bars kind of differs. Okay, so there are two ways to trade the news. Okay, so the reason why I say the strategy isn't for beginners is because it does produce incredible profits due to the news function and the normal function combined. The issue is that the news function makes like a good chunk of money, right? So, and this take weight for bars, you might have known this from my other NQ strategy, because it's kind of the same thing, but not really, sort of. But anyways, this is where it gets hard. So with more sensitive news, such as CPI, you're gonna want take weight for bars to be something really high, like 18. Okay, this will help you avoid a lot of chop. On news like PPI, for example, where the news doesn't have as impact, like it is not as impactful as say CPI is. This should be closer to 5. Okay, so 5 should be your lower bounds, and 18 should be the top. With CPI, you really want it to avoid chop. So 18 is where you want to be at for CPI specifically. For PPI, I would be at like 7 maybe. And for unemployment, I think 7 or 12 is good. It's really up to you how risk tolerant you want to be. I haven't done much testing on unemployment because most of my testing has been on CPI, FOMC, and PPI. Now, what I mean by impactful news, red folder news like this. CPI, you can see it's red folders. Now, you gotta understand that not all red folders are actually that impactful, so you gotta pick and choose. And that's why I say you need experience before using this bot, and the reason why it's so expensive. Because any newbie is gonna get mad at me for this. So, let's say you were trying to trade, what's a good one? Unemployment claims. There are like 3 different unemployment claims it says is red folders. You have to know exactly which unemployment you should actually be trading. So, jobless claims is really the main one. unemployment claims by itself doesn't really do much. When you add jobless claims, unemployment, and some other random shit in the mix, um, then it can really get impactful. So there's only around 4 or 5 news events every month you should be trading, right? FOMC again, CPI, PPI, and unemployment claims, right? Those are 5 news, and you should be targeting anywhere from 2,000 to 3,000 on 13 contracts. But you can always do less and play around with the stop loss, take profit all you want. I am not here to judge you. But yeah, so this is why I say, and also uncheck this box. In normal mode, you would always have this box checked, but in news mode, you don't want this box checked. Okay? Right. So keep that in mind. I know a lot of you will have questions on it, but think of it this way. The more impactful the news, the higher you want this to be. The less impactful the news, the lower you want it to be. So things like FOMC and CPI should be almost at the top, if not the top. And even with FOMC, I honestly say you could go lower, maybe like 12, but you definitely don't want this for PPI because you'll get fucked. But so now that's done, it's time for your look at the ATM for news. For the ATM for news, you're going to need very, very big stop losses. I'm talking in the range of 60 to 70, depending on your risk tolerance. Because news is wiki as fuck, and Renko doesn't allow me to see intrabar price action, so we're basically going off reversals and shit, and volume and level 2 data. You will still need level 2 for this new strategy, so don't cancel your subscriptions just yet. But honestly, your profit targets could honestly be a little higher. You might even want to make that 35. Maybe if you really want to be risky, you can go 15. You can go 20. 8 at 24 and like 5 at 35. That's honestly probably optimal. And I probably put these at these two should be at none. This one should be at probably go that, and then you go 24, then you go -5. Yeah, that's probably the best you want to be at. So this is probably the ATM I would use for news. Now let's run it, and I'll show you. Oh yeah, by the way, when you do news, you need to turn the pink button on. This is why I have the button there. So let's do this. It's gonna take a while, but I'll just show you the power of the news and why you should always trade it. This is it's pretty good, I think. I don't know. Some days don't really get much action. Like I know July didn't have any trades. So let's just go and wait a bit, just a tiny bit. Yeah, yeah. Okay, so we hit the 3,000 profit. So as you can see, the news is fucking baller. So yeah, I know it doesn't look like you need the 18 because you wouldn't have gotten that at 10, but I promise you, if you do this long enough, you'll eventually really want the 18. Trust me, you'll get some bad news days. So news is hard to trade for a reason. Let's just not twist it otherwise, but and I will say your fills probably won't be as good as this, but that shouldn't matter too much because your fills should only slip by, I don't know, like, let's see. See, here the fill slipped quite a bit, so yeah, your slippage would be pretty bad, but it shouldn't be bad enough, in my opinion, that you don't get any action. If you really want to be safe about the slippage, start it at 535 and only run it to 545. You should get enough action during that time to make enough nice profit. But that's market replay for you. about how you would use the news. Another way you could use the news trading strategy is to go trade pre-market. Now, this is a lot safer of a strategy because you don't get slippage as bad, but pre-market news trading is probably the second best way to use it. I mean, like, see here, you would in pre-market news trading, by the way, your take wafer bars will be 5. Okay, it won't be 18 like you would be trading normal news. So it'll be 5, and you would start at 5 o'clock. As you can see, this pre-market didn't really have it. Oh, it actually did. Yeah, you would have gotten something right about here. Yeah. So that'd be good for you. So for pre-market, I would go take wait for bars at 5, and that's all you really need, honestly. You would have gotten this one too, actually. Yeah. So you would have gotten this one and this one, which would have been like maybe 2,500 in profit if you followed the strategy. So yeah, so that's pre-market. You can trade pre-market or pre-news if you want. I do both actually. So a pre-market setup would be just 5 to 5:30, and uh, basically just the same thing. So your take wafer bars will be 5. What else? What else about pre-market do I need to say? That's pretty much it. Don't trade FOMC with pre-market. It doesn't really work. And pre-market generally won't yield as much as actual news trading. You take a lot less risk, but you don't reap as much reward. So if you had traded pre-market and regular market, you would have made around 5 grand. I think that's good for one day. You could pass a lot of accounts with that with the Apex one day. So I would say just be careful with this. This is probably the most risky part of the new strategy. But if you have the fortitude to trade it, I would, just because you know, why not, right? Anyways, we stop there, and that's just all I want to say about news trading. Okay, so just to go over how to trade the news. And I know I've been kind of all over the place, and that's because it's 10 o'clock here. But to recap, so you want to, let's go into the settings to recap. So to recap, 5:31 to 6 o'clock, okay? Take wait for bars at 18, 5 to 18, depending on how impactful the news is. Again, more impactful the news is, the higher this number needs to be. And you need to use don't click this button, okay? Okay, your ATM should look something like this, okay? And you should have this pink button press, okay? Remember, you also can do this with FOMC, okay? You just have to change the times a little bit, and you probably run for an hour from 11 to 12. For the most part though, oh yeah, with FOMC, I would target $6,000. That's usually a good amount. But that's all I want to say about this strategy. Over July, I think over the entire September contract in 2023, this thing made like, I don't know, 30? No, not 30. It was like 25. Yeah, it was 25. So I think that's good enough. Plus the news is like 40 per month. So, or 40, yeah, 40 per contract cycle. So I say that's good. You might not agree. That is $160,000 a year, probably my best performing algo ever. And that's why I'm charging so much for it. It also really scales through accounts. In the package when you buy the algo, I will be including two separate versions of the strategy, so you don't have to necessarily trade only small accounts or only large accounts. I'll have one strategy where you can trade large and one strategy where you can trade small. So if you wanted to trade, for example, very, very large accounts, you could use the first one, and if you want to trade small accounts, you could trade the second one. Difference is they'll be using different ATMs because SPQR and Imperator both run in the background. Okay, if that's confusing to you, I will explain it later. Until then, this is how you would trade the news. Shit, did I name this broadcast anything? Ah, fuck it. Okay. Well, in any case, that is how you would trade the news. As you can see, very good day. But yeah, I'll have a free trial, hopefully, in the Discord. I hope sometime like, what's it called? I hope I have a free trial in the Discord like next week. At least this, I want to release it tomorrow. I really want to do tomorrow, but we'll see. We'll see what Joey decides. I think he might be on vacation. So, anyways, have fun. Don't die. I will see you all